Good morning. I've got Louie hooked up to the trailer, spent a little time getting the 755 loaded up with the 6-foot pull type grader box. I'm headed down to that great big yard job that I started back in the early spring, and my 331 John Deere compact track loader is already down there. But today when I get done with all my grading, I hope to try to bring everything home at once. That's going to be a little bit of a magic trick, but I'm up for the challenge, so I'm ready to head on down there. I'm sure I've forgotten something, but I'll think of it when I get there.
Dig, drive, DIY.
Well, our first stop is going to be at the fuel station. I need to fill up Louie before we can even make it down there probably, and then we'll see what the rest of the day brings us. This is that pond we filled in with the dirt from our pond. They about got her topped off. Welcome to Love's. Time to pay the piper. I got $300 worth. I won't even fill it up. Another pump over here. So it's full already? I screwed up. Maybe I won't make it to 300. I screwed up. I made it maybe to 250. Hopefully they can give me some kind of refund or something. I didn't make it I wasn't as low as I thought. After a bunch of monkeying around, I was able to get that credited back. So only $250 worth of fuel. Okay, now on with the mission. All right, made it down here today, and they got a little bit of rain, but I don't think it's going to hold me up at all. It really exposes a lot of this concrete chunk and stuff though. Tractor made it down here, no problem. Today my goal is to just get all the big stuff knocked down, graded up, find all the chunks of concrete and rock and debris that I can, get those picked up, and then get a load of stone and cover it up in the driveway so that the messy stuff is covered up. So it's gonna be a lot of handwork, jumping in and out of the skid loader, and then hopefully if all goes well, later today I'll have a chance to run the 755 and grader box a little bit and kind of get this dressed up and looking nice. So I need to get this built up along the driveway and kind of define the edge of the driveway. The other thing I need to do is, there's a lot of work to do over here getting this graded up and finished, and I'd like to define and establish this edge right here along this driveway. Part of that means I need to cover up that concrete. I'm trying to find all the rocks and debris and junk, and I'm going to bury it right there where they got the most amount of fill required. I want to get that pile of dirt there that's all clay and heavy stones, get that moved around back and lose it behind the barn. And I think I'm actually gonna try to level this off, and I'm gonna steal a little dirt off that field right there. There's a little bit of a mound, and I'm gonna go out there and push topsoil up here to blend it in. Then I also want to bring dirt up against the sidewalk, get that shaped up. Of course, my first concern is that the hydraulics unlock and the parking brake releases, and that the joystick continues to be the answer to my problems. It worked. So I've been trying to get this all knocked down and find all the debris, basically get it rough graded, and you got to get out and look at it from different angles to kind of see where the dips and the high spots are. I think I got it worked down enough now to where I'm gonna go out into the field there towards the woods and just skim a little bit of that hill off, grab a little topsoil to bring up in here and deposit, and that'll make it really nice on top and give me something to work with the 755. I still need plenty down here too. I'm going to use real nice dirt for that. What I was taught is if you don't want dirt somewhere, don't put it there. So I've been trying to wait until I get some good stuff. So this is a pretty nice straight cut right here. It's got a little deep over there, but you can see how much of like that little hill I'm taking off. that dark dirt, that little windrow. So I'm just taking off that little crown, and that's contributing a lot of dirt for this up here, which will be way better to grow grass. This is something I wouldn't have been able to do with a compact tractor. I mean, I am moving a heck of a lot of dirt here in a single pass. Unfortunately, that dirt's all loose and easy to dig, but this is some great stuff that'll make it really nice to see up around front here. Well, it's getting closer. I'm going to give it the 755 treatment. Time to get that guy off of there and make use of that grader box. All right, we got some definite progress here. It's looking pretty good. This edge, I'm going to help, it'll help define it once I start bringing the stone up there. So I'll bring stone and dirt together to kind of define that edge. So that'll be a work in progress. But for the most part, we got rid of a lot of that junky dirt, covered it up with some good topsoil from the field. That worked out really good. One thing I was worried about was the water that came down, because I don't know if you can tell, but there's quite a bit of fall from the house to the slab right here. I left that down on the concrete a little bit more than what I normally do, just so the water that runs down here doesn't try to make its way up onto the concrete. It'll kind of hit that edge, and then it's got a lot of fall going that way. So that'll work nice for them to keep water from running off of there, I think. So we got good fall. We're not really worried about getting water away. I just wanted to make sure that it didn't run on top of there. All right, I got a load of stone on the dump truck now, and I'm going to see if I can fix up this pile in the driveway. Concrete mixers, when they clean out their trucks, they always need a place to get rid of excess concrete. And they love to do it in the driveway, and there were several places where, as a matter of fact, there's one right over there. That's part of it. See, this is where mixer's cleaned out. You can tell by how white it is, but then you got all these little concrete chunks to get rid of. So I'm gonna dump that load of stone right there with that pile I got started. So this loader is getting dangerously low on fuel. I've let it go too far, but I'm almost done for the day. I'm hoping it can make it just a little bit longer. Shaped up pretty good. We're gonna get more 73s to fill in here, cover up those 2s. That'll turn out really nice. And when I get to the point, you know, of the final stage, I will dress up that edge and make that edge look nice. So my plan is that this is gonna be good enough to hold them over for the next couple months, middle of the hot part of the summer, and then right before we're ready to seed, I want to get a power rake, and we'll address the concern with the turf up there. We got to deal with that turf, and then we'll just get everything finalized. But now the real challenge of the day, the thing I've been thinking about this whole time I've been running and wondering if it's going to work, is can I get all this stuff home in one trip? Obviously you saw how much space the 755 and the grader box took up on the trailer, so that means just one thing, right? I got only one option if I'm going to get it all home. So we'll see if this is going to work. I don't want this tailgate to flop over. I might be able to hinge that tailgate down and hopefully it won't smash the jack. Matter of fact, I could put some blocks in there. Okay. I really don't want it to fall. Oh, it dented it. Dang it. I had a block of wood in there to protect the jack, and I think it did its bit. I hit that logo, but it did not damage the top of the jack. Fits inside the door pretty easily. Now the trick is going to be getting this tailgate closed. It's going to be tricky to do this with a grater box in the way, actually. Turn it around. All right, I'm gonna interrupt my struggle here for a minute to try to explain something. First of all, an unusual situation for me is I didn't get very good camera angles of this. I thought it was gonna be easy just to pick the tailgate up with the skid loader, pin it, and call it a day. But as you can see, I started to put it up in there, and then first of all, the grater box was in the way, so I had to get it manhandled up into the bed of the truck. And then the skid loader would not reach. Actually, the 755 had better reach to the tailgate than what the skid loader did. And so I had to drive the skid loader up over my brackets right here that I use for the backhoe just to try to get up there and reach. And John was out there helping me try to get the pins in, and we were fighting it. Just when we almost had the pins in, I was almost far enough, the skid loader died. That's the thing I forgot to bring with me, fuel. The skid loader was out of fuel. I might be screwed. I might be out of fuel.
Well, there's a can back here.
There is?
That can behind the dump trailer's diesel.
Oh.
Welcome to it.
Fortunately, the skid loader started back up after putting fuel in it, and with his help, we were able to get the pins in the top of the tailgate up there. Everything was fine, but it wasn't my proudest moment. Yeah. Thanks a lot, John.
You good?
Yep, I'm good now. Well, I'm finally chained down, ready to go home. Sometimes you get something in your head and you can't stop thinking about it until you try it. And I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks now, bringing the tractor down and bringing it all home together. What I learned is I need a barn door tailgate. That would have solved my trouble. I would have opened the tailgate, had a set of ramps to drive into the truck, problem solved. All right. I learned my lesson. And the lesson I learned was I had these super big, nice long ramps that would make loading the 755 into the bed of the dump truck really easy. Why didn't I use those in the first place? Because they were in the back of the barn. I was too lazy to get them out. I saved about 3 minutes of not trying to get the ramps out of the back of the barn, and it cost me a ton of time horsing around with those car ramps and boards. And I don't know, you learn the hard way sometimes that you can spend a little time now and save a lot of time later. Instead, I saved a little bit of time now and it cost me a bunch of time. But as you'll notice, by taking the tailgate out with the backhoe, it's much, much easier to get that thing on the ground safely and out of the way. And then I'm able to use these big long ramps, put them onto the bed of the tailgate, put them onto the bed of the dump truck, and loading the 755 as a breeze. So it was a good learning opportunity for me. I really need that barn door tailgate on the back of the truck. But until then, I want to thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope that you liked it, and if I'm lucky, we'll see you back on the next one. Thanks so much.